Right, well, welcome to the stream. And Alba Pino, nice to see you here. Paul Shoesmith, and then we've got a whole host of guys on Discord with us today. And welcome to the new year. Happy New Year to everybody. And Paul, at least you've got something now to get used to when you talk about that yoke. I know when I went from a joystick to a yoke, it took a couple of flights, but it's well worth it. So just go for it, enjoy it. In terms of my stream, we're going to fly from Southend to Dublin. And I must be honest, I looked at the METARs and the whole weather thing and everything, and it's nothing what the METAR said it would be. So I need to check my Active Sky if Active Sky is actually on live weather. It's kind of weird. Totally not the same. Let's see. Live weather is active. Alright, so we're going to make the adjustments on the fly. This is a virtual Ryanair flight, but McTrying, I've got a surprise for you. Quickly going to get something on screen for you. Alright, okay, so I'm still getting used to this, but let's see if we can actually connect. Call sign will obviously now change. That's going to be Ryanair something. RYR 52FD.
A bio, that's different.
Yeah. Alright, so what is interesting now is it says that I did not file a flight plan. So let's see if we can do this. Alright, so to put you guys in the picture, McTrying, this is the new IVAO client. Alright, so it works completely different to IVAP used to work. So this little piece obviously now sits on the outside. We are apparently online according to the green there, but now this is where the interesting changes happens. In the past, we were required to log the flight plan in IVAP, okay, the actual client, but now they've given us like the pre-file on VATSIM, so we can actually go and we can import. Let me just go find that plan quickly. Uh, Desktop, documents, downloads. Got it. Alright, so sorry, just wanted to make sure I get the right thing there. Alright, so I've specified the flight plan that I've exported from my PFPX, and I simply click on import, and it basically gives us the standard kind of a solution where we just need to fill in the blanks that has not been filled in. So what's the time now? We're going to need about 20 minutes, so we can do, I think 15:20 should be fine. 15:20 for the time, and let me just submit the flight plan. There we go. Now question now is, how do we get it in there? Alright, there we go. There's the flight plan. I clicked on it, it's taken it. There we go. So now that flight plan is live. And if we go to the IVAO web eye, just log in there. And wow, that's a busy bunch of people there. Look at that. I don't think it's going to show us on the ground yet. It might take a minute or two. I think we're somewhere there, aren't we? I'm not even sure. It's somewhere in this area. Is it that one? No, that's EGSS.
You're not showing yet.
There we go.
You
There I am. So it's just picked up that I am on the network, and there you can see Ryanair 52 Foxtrot Delta.
That's it. Yeah.
Alright, Ryanair 52 Foxtrot Delta. Alright, so they've changed things around a little bit. I'm quite impressed. I have not had the privilege of flying with this, so I thought while I'm doing this stream, I might as well jump in and do this. You know, get it done.
Certainly an option because it's not as chaotic as Riot as Datsun, is it?
It,
With
yeah, it's
air
never been.
traffic coverage. That's what
Yeah.
I'm getting at.
Um, I I started flying online with Iveo and then eventually went to VATSIM for personal reasons. And obviously, I've always kept the option open for Iveo. So every 3 months or so, you just quickly do a flight and make sure they don't log you off. Otherwise, you have to obviously just go and re-enable yourself to get flying again. It's happened once or twice. Let's quickly see if we can get the Explain 11 to actually capture properly. There we go. There's your Explain 11. Tony, you see my predicament? It's full of nonsense. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have to reinstall the slobs or what, but anyway, it's driving me nuts. Eventually it works. So this is Southend and we're taking off runway 23, whichever side that would be on. I think it's the side, I'm not sure. Let's see. Obviously not there, it's that side.
It's looking good, Nico.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I see on the forum the guys were complaining about TeamSpeak not actually switching channels and things like that. It's in a beta form, but I'm positive. Let's give it a bash and see how far we get and what we can do with it.
Certainly increases the options, makes it more inviting.
Absolutely, absolutely. The only negative thing that I can possibly say about it is the fact that they still use TeamSpeak 2, and I hope that they will change that very soon.
Just a quick question.
Mm,
Does it, when you enable the client for that, do you have to disable the BATSIM one
yes,
or
yeah,
whatever? Yeah.
yes. But that's why I use X Organizer, so I can literally just click a button, to enable, disable,
No,
one of
that
them.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a tick in a box, enable, disable.
But it minds that there are options for those who need to know if they want to ask the question
Of
without
course,
using X Organizer.
of course, of course. So let's start prepping this baby. I had to restart because obviously I installed new scenery and the new air rack that's available. For those guys that don't know, there is a new air rack available. So we can get going. All right, we are just going to
What's providing your ground traffic?
the ground traffic that you see. Yeah, that's part of the scenery. I didn't add any ground traffic.
What, the all the stairs and everything?
No, the stairs. That's ground handling deluxe as always.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm just for
Yeah,
the benefit of your view.
sure. Okay, thank you. But those little van, see, there's an ambulance. I think that's Tony, by the way. Good guy, good
I
guy.
did I see my ambulance?
There, I think it's that one. Otherwise, I'm making a mistake. Then I apologize. But if it is, awesome. But what I'm
No,
saying is, look, there's a little
not
train
mine.
coming. So I mean, that's probably an explained train. The rest of it's just scenery traffic that's running
Oh,
around.
that's
Yeah.
just taken away the passengers after the last landing. Is
Ah, I suppose something like that. There he comes in the trees there. Alright, my Ryanair client is bombed out and it's now installing a new update, so thank goodness for that, but let's get it going. Let's fly. Alright, so I've started my client.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
Right, guys on Discord, if you guys want to chat relevant stuff, please don't stop chatting. We'll interrupt you when we need to. No, just don't get too far off topic. Spawning salmon. Yeah, I've done an Ian one, which is the next level up, but I haven't done the ordinary RNAV yet. That's a good option, a good idea. We can look at something like that. Had a bit of a scare there, and then I realized my numlock isn't on, so it's not doing the moving of the camera because numlock's not on. Interesting. I can't remember if I exported this one. EGMC. EIDW. Are you prepping to fly with Uncle John?
I am indeed, sir. I'm just prepping now.
Okay,
I'm not streaming though.
okay. Foxtrot Delta. Alright, so we're going to be taking runway 23, standard operating procedure at this airport. We will be landing on runway 28 on the other side, correct. We're going to use the, what's it, BAGSO 1 kilo.
Almost straight down the runway. Almost.
Lampo will be transition. I was just setting up my active sky quickly so we can actually listen to weather instead of reading weather. Ah, and there is a hold. Awesome.
It's not compulsory though.
I know. I will probably skip it. I might as well skip it now. Yeah, quite. And that takes us on to the finals for the IRS. Damn it. That's it. McTrying, can you recall what the real world flight level was these guys were flying?
On the route they went
Yeah.
up to, hang on, diff-
I was just
looks
curious.
like 30 something thousand.
Okay.
I'm going over at 26.
Yeah, me too. Hello, Angel. Happy New Year.
It's alright, I'm reading it in meters. It's 10,350, so what's that, 31 or 32?
33. 32, 32, 32, I think.
We're going 32?
No,
Well,
negative.
we'll go,
I'm doing 26.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
taking 26.
Right, we're going to use the normal acceleration takeoff. That's fine. Not gonna derate that one today.
admitted that was a completely different route.
Of course,
Remember.
of course.
And they were at that altitude for
I'm ready
precisely
for pushback.
14 minutes.
Smart ass gaming. That's a really clever question. I have absolutely no idea. I just pick one. I have no idea if there is a standard one. McTrying, do you know if there's a standard squawk code that we're supposed to set when we take off
No,
flying?
the only dictation is if you're flying VFR,
I
as
thought so.
far as I know.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
far as I know myself too.
I honestly couldn't tell you what the rough codes are used in the UK are.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to that. Every time my ATC comes online, they give you one anyway. So whatever it is that you take off with is not the one that you're gonna remain using anyway, unless the ATC stays offline. So. Right, so we have done everything we're supposed to do. We might as well do a cut back take off for all the artists with the curlers in the hair. Yeah. Angel. Funny.
I'm about to push back.
Alright, I'm a little bit behind you, Uncle John. I've got 13 minutes to go on my timer.
see you up there.
100%. That's for VFR. That's not for IFR as far as I know, Mike. That was what we just discussed. I don't think there's a minimum requirement as such for IFR stuff. It's, but for VFR, yeah, you've got to be on 7,000. Oh yes, there is no. So we're gonna do heading select. Almost forgot. There's no sit, so we can't use LNAV at all at this stage. We will transition to that later. Alright, let's get our trim reasonably set. Angel, that's in America for VFR, buddy. IFR is a totally different ballgame. IFR ATC needs to assign to you. Clearance delivery gives it to you. And as there is no clearance delivery, it makes no sense. I usually, this is my standard, 3010. If the guys like it, they keep it. If they don't like it, they give me a new one. You know, it's just what I do. And I've got more than 1,000 hours. The guys have never complained to me and said to me, "Oh, you're an asshole, we don't like what you do," you know. So they either give you a new one or they remain silent. I'm flying on Iveo, by the way, Angel, and there are no ATC in this area that I am aware of. I will keep my eye on the map, and just as I said it, it seems that there's ATC that's come up. What the hell? Right, so we have EGSS tower online, and we have, I don't know what EGEX approach is, but I don't think we're gonna fly through the area. They better text me if they want me to talk to them. I wouldn't know. Let's get some weather.
I wish you could see what's happening with this aircraft at the moment. I'm on pushback, and he's spinning me round in circles.
Echo
And when I
Golf
say
Mike
spinning,
Charlie Airport
spinning me like you
information
wouldn't
Juliet
believe.
1450 Zulu weather wind 310 at 10 visibility 10,000 sky condition few clouds at 1,500 2,700 scattered temperature 6 dew point 4 QNH 1024 advice on initial contact you have information Juliet Echo Golf Mike Charlie Airport
I've pressed disconnect, I've pressed terminate, I've done everything on the better pushback, and nothing's working.
Uncle John, it happened to me once before, many moons ago, so I'm not sure why it would do that.
I'm literally just going round in a complete circle.
Go to your plugin, admin, and then just untick better pushback. Kill it.
You are going to fly through EGX approach.
Probably. We'll see when we get the McDrawing. Okay, we're at 12 minutes, about 8 minutes to go.
Mind you, being approached, you might get over the top of it.
Probably.
That was fun and games.
wrapping up the final paperwork here to get you on your way
To
momentarily.
work out what
I wanna
caused
thank you so
it?
much for your company.
Have I heck?
invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy
I'm
the
just
ride.
on the grass now, going to try and find my way back out of it.
Little bit of rally driving you'll manage.
Oh, rally driving. See if I can get on the runway.
Well, good luck with that one, Uncle John. I'm gonna put on the seat belts and start thinking of APU almost. So I'll follow you soon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the advice as well.
Awesome.
I never thought of that. And I've just been hammered down on another aircraft taking off.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm on the runway. I'm on the runway.
Okay.
No, I'm at the wrong end of the runway. No, can't be, surely.
Depends on where that better pushback pushed you to.
Yeah, exactly. So shame I didn't record that.
Yeah. Oh, I better check something. Keyboard. Awesome.
Takes a bit of getting you off the grass, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that friction factor in the scenery is usually much higher on the grass than on the concrete or the tar.
There's been quite a lot of rain, so can you fill the holes in from the ruts of the tyres, please?
Right, now we just need to wait for 20 minutes to come up. That's 3 minutes from now. Not another 20 minutes, just 3 minutes till 20 minutes.
Well, I'm airborne anyway.
Awesome. The bloop that you guys hear, that is the text messages that comes through on the client. So that's what you get all these things for. Every time there's a new one, it goes clip.
Down to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
It's looking good, Nico. You got 20 watches now.
Awesome.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Omar, experience. If you want to learn it, you're going to have to Google it. But basically, it depends on the runway length. For every runway length, there is a certain specification basically you have to conform with. So there are tables in the FCOM, I think, or at least in the pilot's handbook that will tell you, you know, under these conditions and this runway length, this is the amount of meters or feet you need to stop. And based on that, you can quickly make a calculation and determine which one to use. This runway, for instance, is
Tow
6,089
connected
feet.
and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
And that is 1,856 meters, which is very short. So we're going to sit on the brakes before we let go anyway for takeoff. And when you do a landing in a place like this, you usually go for auto brake 3, you know, just to stop you in time. Otherwise you run out of space.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Yeah, the FCOM is very important. That's the Boeing Bible, basically. So you need to make sure to get a copy. Get the 2014 or newer versions if you can, because a lot have changed in this model compared to other flight sim models. So these procedures and things are, well, this whole model is based on the newer FCOM. Yeah, there must be. The bar at the top is called Benny Overlay. That's not part of the flight sim, it's part of the broadcasting system. So you can search for Benny Overlay if you want, BENE, and second with overlay. My pushback works, Uncle John. I think your machine needs a reboot.
No, I think I've found out what the problem was. I'll tell you later.
Operation
Okay.
complete. Set parking brake.
And brakes are set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
That's correct. Hello, Jules. I'm okay. How are you doing?
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
we go. Yes, Toga. Angel Toga.
Flight attendants prepare for takeoff, please.
Hallo Dirk.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Goeiemiddag en welkom by die stroom, my maat. We can leave that on and we'll leave that one off. In fact, no, kill it. Right, we are transmitting. Squawk's done, all the rest done. Fantasties Dirk, dis goed so, ek is bly. Right guys, I'm ready. I don't see any traffic on TCAS or on the map. I'm all by my lonesome self here, so let's get going. Ooh,
Approaching.
look,
2, 3.
look at those lights. Oh, it's gonna cause damage to the landing gear. Probably scrape the bottom somewhere. That's a scenery fix that's required over here, I bet. Angel, I prefer Top Gun. I just noticed your question there. I'm a Top Gun fan. I like Tom Cruise and
On runway. 2,
the antics
3.
of Maverick.
Talking of Top Gun, when's the new Top Gun released? That looks amazing.
I think it's only middle of the year. I'm not sure actually. Alright, so let's power up a little bit. Toga, and hold on to these brakes just for a little while and let go. Pushing forward. Let's get this nose in the ground. Get some speed.
80 knots. V1 rotate.
1,000.
Much runway left. 1,000 feet remaining. I love it when the wind all of a sudden decides to show up. Look there, 10 knots all of a sudden. Right, gear up.
You're about 80 miles behind me.
1,000.
Okay, Nico, just for the benefit of those watching that want to learn, did you use any rudder input after you took off into
Yes.
that cross?
Yes. I did a little bit, not much, just to make sure that I'm stable, and then I let go because your damper and all those other things kicks in after I go onto command A. So up to about 1000, I was flying the plane basically. So I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah, no, I was just explaining the art or the hardware
Uh,
and how you use it.
yeah.
Because we don't see those inputs, but
Yeah.
we see.
Jules, I usually fly on the Ryanair schedule, but I'll try see when I can fit a flight like that into play. Let's see if we can do something like that. Hello, hello, Phil. Yeah, June 25. I knew it was somewhere there. I thought I. Uncle John,
Yes, sir.
are you tired?
And I shouldn't be, Nico, because I didn't get up till 9 o'clock. I woke up at 6,
Mm.
did the loo, and I thought, no, I'm not getting up. So I went back to bed and went back to sleep.
Ah,
Till about 10 to 9, I think it was. I was quite shocked.
because you're gonna make me yawn too now.
I'm sorry.
Making me a bit jealous. 3 a.m.
6 a.m. for me.
To off. I'll put mine to off. Don't know what Nico does.
10,000 feet usually. Wait until then, because then I start from this side and I run through all the switches and I click that one at the top. Your usual ascent up to 10,000 is usually a little bit steeper. You know, you don't want people to fall over themselves because they're clumsy and they don't hold on to things. So
Oh, yeah, because they'll go suing us, son.
exactly. So after 10,000, it's just the reflex, and I just click
After
it.
10,000, you're on your own.
Yeah. Like so.
Tell you what, it's damn nice up here. My clouds are looking a million times better than yours.
Man, I. It should, but the period of time that I went through the clouds is so quick and over and done with. It's not even dangerous. I mean, we literally went through them in seconds.
Why are your clouds so different to mine?
SkyMax Pro, Uncle John. I need to get my active sky clouds back.
You've got to get them back, Nico, because I tell you what, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
They look rubbish.
Smart as gaming. What the FCOM says is usually 2 minutes before you go into the clouds, you switch on your anti-ice on the engines, and then you use your wing anti-ice for a maximum of 30 seconds, you know, in a cycle, and switch them off, and then you handle it like that. But like I said, this little bit of clouds here is like candy floss. We went through them like nothing. The Zibo model is very good with handling ice or depicting the effects of ice. If we picked up any ice, we would have known about it already. It's it's happened to me twice in my life where ice actually made me crash, and one time one of the other team members were watching with me, so it was kind of embarrassing. But I was eating ice cream at the time. My attention was with the
That
ice
was your
cream.
excuse.
Yeah, I know. And the next morning he was telling everybody, I was eating ice cream and I crashed the plane.
Got to in you.
Yeah.
So have we any ice cream on board today?
Negative. Negative. No, I've still it got about 1 or 2 sips of coffee left.
He
Got no
doesn't
ice,
eat ice cream when he's flying anymore. Scared the
no
hell out
ice
of him.
cream, but a nice glass of Jack Daniels going here.
I'll enjoy that.
I'll behave. Shut up.
Are you jealous, Uncle John?
Right. I'm just coming up to Leicester. And then it'll be on to Derby.
I'm flying along as well. Just thought I'd let you know.
Okay. Right, so McTrying, while we're climbing, let me bring Navigraph on the map. That is our route, guys. So if you look here at the bottom, that's obviously where we are, and we're going to go all the way up past Manchester and then
South of Manchester, isn't it, Nicker?
yeah, just south, just south.
Just south. And then slightly north of Liverpool.
Damn it, we're just not even close to Wakefield. Ah, you won't even hear the engines.
Let me look. No, we're not. No. Wakefield's a good way away.
I see. Hold on.
Why would anybody want to go to Wakefield?
Right, I'm back. So where is that map? Let's see. Who else is flying in this area? We're so high over this guy's airspace, he'll never even think of contacting us. We're 10,000 above where he will talk. So we're okay.
Thousand to go.
Look there, Phil said he enjoyed Wakefield in 1983. What do you mean a flight plan in OpenStreetMap, DWR? I'm not sure if this isn't OpenStreetMap that was on the screen there a moment or 3 ago. The only other place I've got OpenStreetMap would be in little nav map. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, if that is OpenStreetMap, yeah, that's Navigraph. Let's bring that back. That is Navigraph. So, if you actually scroll through some of my live streams, you will see. In fact, I think I actually marked them on my YouTube channel under my tutorials. Let me see quickly. I did a couple of flight planning tutorials. Let's see. Yeah. If you go to my YouTube channel and you just scroll a little bit down, you'll see their flight planning tutorials and discussions. We've done quite a few of them. And then the only other thing that I can think of right now to do is to just bring this into little nav map. So that's little nav map. I'm going to create a new plan. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use this facility from the clipboard. So we can do take that one out, and we can take that runway out. Read the description. What is all this that it's ignoring? Okay, flightshop.com. Oh yes, that we don't need. That. Can actually go read it again. Oh. That is me. Alright, so create the flight plan. We go to the map now. It should have the same for us that we had in in Navigraph. We now got in little nav map. So there we are, there we're flying, and this is OpenStreetMap, as you can see at the top. So I just want to quickly go to the airport, that side. Alright, it hasn't brought in the actual procedures, but we can add them, do things like that. So those are my options. This one is obviously a freeware model, and Navigraph is obviously a payware model. So when I do tutorials in future, I will most likely and definitely make a bit of a tutorial about this little utility.
I think you
as
need
well.
to, Nico. It's a nice little app.
I haven't used this in a while. That's not what we wanted.
Hey John, you know how I raved about little nav map?
Yep.
I found something even better.
Oh my God, what you like?
I won't talk about it now, but if you're interested later, it's absolutely fantastic.
Okay, tell me as well when you get there.
Yeah, will do.
I'm secretly all ears.
Okay.
Still uses SimBrief integration, Navigraph integration. That's all I'm saying for now.
We'll share. I love these carrots. These little morsels.
Alright, so that looks a little bit closer to what Navigraph gave us. Anyway, we'll get to a tutorial of that. I'm gonna have to go practice with that little utility to just familiarize myself, and then whatever Tony's got up his sleeve, we can talk about that probably as well. DDV, I think most people use SimBrief. I, on the other hand, use PFPX. This is my tool of choice. I fine-tuned this to be as close as anything can be to the actual Zibo with all the correct parameters, and I've integrated TopCat in here for the performance data, so I've got everything at hand that I want at any point in time. There's a little idea of the weather. I see the turbulence has moved up north. When I did my planning, it was still part of the flight plan. We've obviously got the facility to look at the jet streams that are in the area. Obviously, this is something that changes over time as well. We can also look at our wind as we continue. So I prefer using PFPX, but I've come a long way with it. F5, Angel, F5 or Control F5.
QNH is 1028 here, Echo India Delta Whiskey.
Awesome, awesome. Did you see what Phil said about Lakefield or Wakefield? Where you stay?
No.
He said he enjoyed it very much in 1983. He went to a rock concert and he was very drunk.
Okay.
Mike, PFPX is payware. It's actually very expensive, to be quite honest. It's very much overpriced in my humble opinion, and the way they develop that two pieces of software, TopCat and PFPX, unless they pull a little rabbit out of their hats, PFPX is gonna die pretty soon, in my opinion, because it's very limited in what aircraft you can use, and you can't add extra stuff that they didn't make provision for, and also unless they pull up their socks, I think a lot of people are going to get angry with them very soon. So just my opinion, but it's a wonderful tool for what I use it and what other guys use it. I mainly use it for the Zibo. Most of my other aircraft runs through SimBrief, but because I spend so much time and I'm in perfect balance with the actual Zibo data, I mean, it just makes sense to use it.
Just south of Manchester.
What are you running at the 500 plus CI or something like that? What's happening? How come you can be there already again, Uncle John?
What's that?
How do you fly so fast?
Oh, I was well in front of you.
Oh, okay. Oh yes, you didn't restart. I forgot. You just got ready for the tug. I thought you restarted.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad.
Courtesy of yours truly.
Yeah.
And I will admit to my failing privately to you later.
All right, no worries.
My fault.
Didn't know the engines
Nothing
were
wrong
on,
with
did you, John?
X-Plane.
I don't think you heard you, Tony.
No, that's a cock-up I'd made before. Remember I mentioned the similar sort of thing? It was spinning me around, taking me all over the shop. It's simply because I had the thrusters on.
Oh, reverses.
Yes. Egg on face.
Mike, I think that's a good choice, my friend. Each and every single one of these applications and websites have got good and bad about them. Not one of them is perfect, but if you find something that works for you, stick to it. You know, there's a lot to be desired for. You know, up until very recently, flight simming was just flight simming, and then all of a sudden things became more real and more real and more real. And you know, if you look at the way we do things now, we try and do it almost exactly as the real world guys would do it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it's just freaking frustrating that you can't do it that way, but we make best we can. Hello, Ryan.
When you finish this flight, I'm going to nag you to death to sort those clouds out.
Yeah.
Starting to sound like my wife.
Yeah.
I'm worse than his wife, trust me.
Ryan, I don't know. I have no idea. Did you maybe run out of fuel? Did you press a button you shouldn't? Did you make sure that your X-Plane 11 failures are off? It can be many things. Right, well, I'm just to the left of Nottingham right now.
And I'm just short of Liverpool.
Awesome. I've got traffic in front of me. I don't know where that
In
is.
fact, I might look, see if I can find Liverpool Airport. Ah, I can see it. Down on my left-hand side.
Ryan Air 2 Mike Charlie.
Take a screenshot.
Yeah, Ryan, I don't know. I don't have enough data from me to really give you an educated guess. Needless to say, it's not normal.
Oh, still 122 miles.
Well, I've got 122 miles until top of descent, so... it depends. The mins that you're talking about, you'll have to define which ones you're talking about. But also, you'll see if you follow me long enough. Some flights are more geared towards tutorials. Then I fly it more by the book. And then things like minimums and stuff matter. When I do a flight just to have fun, I don't pretty much care. I'm just another flight simulator, you know. Then I just fly it. As long as it doesn't fall out of the sky, I'm happy. When I do a flight like this, I'm kind of in between. And then obviously when I do a beta test, I mean, then I've got to fly by the book as well, you know, and then there's specific things I need to look out for. So yeah, the minimums that are always set. If you're talking about your landing minimums, that is always set. Always, always, always.
Which star are you coming in on, Nico? BAGSO?
Yeah, 1 kilo. BAGSO 1 kilo. And then from BAGSO I fly direct to the ILS.
Yeah, that's the one. I've just changed over. I wasn't on it. So I've changed over. I'm only about 30 miles away now. Top of this end, 35.
Dear De Veer, I've spoken about them in so many videos. I don't have a specific tutorial, but let me speak with you through, you know, let's set it up while you are here with me. So what we're going to do, so let's get the Navigraph on screen here. We're going to look at our ILS chart. Alright, so we're going to do an ordinary Cat 1 landing. It's a CAV okay situation, so clouds and visibility is okay. There's no precipitation. We don't need more than just Cat 1. Alright. So if you look at the Cat 1 specifications, this is for Dublin, ILS runway 28. Alright. So what we're going to look for is we're going to look for how it's written. First of all, it says DA, that's your decision altitude, that is above mean sea level, and the H in brackets pertains to the 200 that's also in brackets, and that is your height above ground. Alright, so we're going to use 402, the big bold letters, and we're going to make sure that when we go to our EFIS, it's set to Barrow. Currently it's on the radio. So we're going to move it to Barrow to make sure we've got Barrow. And then we're going to input the 402. Ah, wrong button. Right, so there's the minimums. So if we go back to the chart, we'll see 402 on a Cat 1. If we actually do a Cat 2, they will change. Cat 2, the minimums will be 302, and you have the option to use your radio altimeter. So instead of going to your barometer, we can use the radio altimeter, and instead of setting 302, we can set 108 on the radio. Right, if we do a Cat 3 A approach, we can actually use 50 on our radio. Alright, so that's just a quick reference as to how they work. Alright, if you look at this chart, when your glide slope is out and you've only got the localizer, your decision altitude will be 610. So you just got to take that into consideration. Now, something I don't usually talk about is your runway visual requirement. Cat 3, you need to see the runway within 200 meters. Your Cat 2, you need to see in 300 meters. Okay, well, this is what I'm trying to explain now. It all depends on the weather. It depends on where you're going to see the actual runway. So your runway visual minimums for a Cat 3 is 200 meters. Alright, your Cat 2 is 300 meters, and to use Cat 1, you need to see the runway with before you reach 550 meters from that runway. So your visual minimums here is going to dictate which one you use. Now, I already stated we've got cav okay, ceiling and visibility is okay, there's no precipitation or anything, so we'll probably see this runway at 10 miles already, which means 550 meters or even there 1,200 meters if the runway lights are out. That's good enough for Cat 1. Once the visibility drops, the more the visibility drops, the more you move to the left. And then obviously Cat 3A is in severe limited, visibility. So you've got to see the runway within 200 meters and your decision height is 50 foot above ground. So that's how you decide. It all depends on your weather. Right, the next thing that we want to do is obviously get our frequencies set up. Oh, before we do that, hold on, one more thing.
11135.
Huh?
111.35.
What's that? Yeah,
Oh,
you're talking the frequency. Yeah, no, that's fine, it's fine. Donkey Uncle John, thank you very much. Okay, our interception point is always over here, that little cross. Alright, so it tells us we need to be at 2,500 feet to intercept the ILS. So what we're going to do is we're going to dial in 2,500 on the MCB. Alright, so that is going to allow the Boeing now to descend when we get to our top of descent point, which is 83 nautical miles ahead of us. Alright, then now that we've got that, we need to look at our frequency and our course. So we're going to do the frequency 11135. Uncle John, you're a star. I had it dialed in for some reason in standby.
Okay.
Very interesting. There we go. 11135. Alright. Okay, now in the charts, come on, show. You'll see the final approach course is 279, but in the Zibo, and because of the X-plane limitations and problems, I always go and check here on our INET reference page. It says 278, so it's out by 1 degree. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually use this one, 278. 278. We're going to use the FMC values. Otherwise you'll see the yellow strike through and then you know it's wrong. So 278. Alright, so
thank you, Nico, because that was set up for 279.
Awesome, Uncle John. Alright, so that in a nutshell is the information that we get from the charts. The other thing that you're going to need from the chart is this. Climb straight ahead to Gannet to maximum of 3,000 feet. This is our go around altitude. So before you hit 1,000 feet, you need to have 3,000 set up on your MCP in case you need to do a go around. So we're going to remember that. I've got it open on the side here so I can just read it anyway. Alright, so the next thing that we want to do is we want to look at our progress. ASNIP, that's a strange name, but anyway, ASNIP is...
I am on descent, by the way.
Fantastic. ASNIP is our next waypoint. At ASNIP, the aircraft, including the fuel, well, the fuel is 5.1 ton, so we need to see how much fuel we're going to end up with when we actually land. So that tells me, you know, we've got 8 tons that we need to subtract there. If we go there, we go to 62.2. That's 800 kilograms. Sorry, guys, 800 kilograms. So we're going to input 62.2, and then we're going to select our ref speeds there. So we're going to do a flaps 30 landing at 145 knots. Alright, so we make sure that goes in there, and we go to descent, and then descent forecast. What we also need, come on, show. What we also need is the transition altitude. So our transition altitude, the level is given by ATC. There's no ATC, so we're going to use this one, 5,000. So we're going to type in flight level 050. Alright, and the reason we do this particular thing is we want standard that's in green to turn yellow once we hit that value, because that is our prompt to press the standard button to go to the local QNH. Alright, so that's a small tip. Alright, so how much time have we got left here? Right, 133 nauticals, stop of descent 60. Alright, okay, so let's go back there, forecast. Alright, so I've made the calculation already. Our ISA is -8. Alright, and what did you say the QNH was, Uncle John?
QNH is currently 1028.
1028. So we're putting the slash to get it behind at the end there. 1028, and then we can execute that. Right. In terms of the winds, let's see what the winds are doing. So I'm going to take the data from EIDW or BAGSO. Which one? We might as well take the airport one. It's very similar, very similar. It's in fact similar. Not much difference between those waypoints. So we're going to do 295 at 45. Do 01 at 33. Lost one, 301 at 32. Right, so that takes care of our descent forecast for us. Alright, so just to recap, we've set up our reference speeds, we've got the minimum set up, we've got the QNH on standby, and once that goes yellow we can simply click the standard button. Over there we are definitely on a baro setting. Right, we have set the MCP lower so we can actually go down. What we did not set is auto brake. That's a long runway, so we're going to use auto brake 1. This is active sky. I go to briefing and then I scroll down to the bottom, and what I did was I used the last waypoint, BAGSO. That's 6,000, the first column 9,000, and that is 12,000. What you could also do, and Simbrief will give this to you as well, you can look at your OFP and you must just scroll down to the winds. These winds that are mentioned over there are not going to be at the same altitudes, these ones. Alright, same altitudes or strengths, because this wind information was taken 6 a.m. this morning. So this wind information is almost 12 hours old, whereas the wind information in active sky is actually current. You can use Simbrief, yes. Right, Uncle John, I'm 38 nauticals from top of descent.
Okay. That's about right, time-wise, thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm actually 56 miles away from Dublin.
Awesome.
Can I bring a frivolous thought into the conversation?
You can try.
I love the way you say Barrow.
Okay.
I automatically think he says when I'm switching to Barra that the Ryanair's Zibo turns into a wheelbarrow.
I fly like a wheelbarrow sometimes.
I just imagine the pilot being an Irish navvy. End of being frivolous.
What winds are you guys experiencing at the moment? I've got a 50 knot headwind.
I'll check.
I've got a 53
81.
out of 302.
Yeah, I've got it at 318 at 81. Look what Phil is saying. That's McTrying's one of his favorite airports. He'd love to see that.
I think you might struggle.
Yeah, for sure.
We interrupt this program for important bulletin.
Thank you for the subscription.
Current winds, Dublin, currents 270 degrees at 13 knots.
Got it, thank you. I see QNH is now 1029, Uncle John.
Well, that's
Just
that's
changed.
strange because I've just checked as well. It's still on 1028.
What is the time on your meter? Mine says 1600 Zulu, so mine is 8 minutes old. You could still be on an old one.
Okay.
Yes, 1029 for me.
Double check again. ATIS request. Send. Yeah, it's 1028.
Phil, I'm not sure if they changed any looping or something. I don't know. It could be just the way that it was playing in the outside shot. We can try again just now. Dear De Veer, look, I pride myself in giving instruction, you know, at the highest level that I can possibly do as a fellow flight simmer. I'm in the privileged position where I have Twixter, who makes the flight model for the Zibo himself, the master coder himself, as mentors. I am also privileged to have Jorge, which is the original 737 type-rated pilot who started the whole project out or joined it very soon after Zibo started, whatever the case might be. So I've got some very high caliber Zibo team guys behind me that helps me sort out my knowledge, and the agreement I have with the team is that I will share my knowledge, you know, and you know, help you guys out where I can. So if I can help you with some of the training, then obviously I will. I am busy with a formal training syllabus that I'm working on behind the scenes that I will not live stream. It will just be videos. And once I'm ready and I've got a couple of episodes ready, I'll start pushing them out on my YouTube channel. And that will obviously be FCOM based, you know, apart from neatly little flight sim things. But I'm going to do my best to give the best possible training series that I can possibly do on a Boeing 738, and then obviously use the Zibo to depict everything.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yes, I fly for Virtual Ryanair. This flight is actually for Virtual Ryanair. Cockpit textures, that's about it, Albapino. There's been a couple of discussions with some of the team members that if it's possible, the cockpit textures needs to be upgraded. That is something I would like to see. There's nothing wrong with it. I love my Zibo, but the guys were just talking about it, so I'm just echoing what they said. Other than that, my friend, no, it must just come to a point where all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and you know, then the project will be done. But I think Zibo's got a couple of tricks up his sleeve still that he's going to surprise us all with, so we'll see. Dankie, Dirk. And just for curiosity's sake, there is my smart cars. That's the Ryanair smart cars busy tracking me, so I can log the flight for the virtual airline.
Oh, I didn't tell you, did I? Flight I did yesterday, Ryanair, was perfect, apart from one smart little hiccup.
Oops,
I forgot to change the livery.
Oh, okay, yeah, then they just qualify you.
They did, but I sent them a little message, you know, grovelling letter, and they accepted it for me.
Phil, I
6,000.
changed the MCP altitude long time ago. That was part of what I said to EIDW earlier. Part of when we read through the actual chart. So it's one of the first things that I do, because that also buys me time. If I get stuck on entering the winds or some of the other procedures, I don't want to be the cause of the aircraft not descending at the top of descent. So that's one of the first things that I do. Smart Ass Gaming, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I haven't asked him. I have not spoken to him about it yet. No problem. No problem, Phil. Obviously, here, all my videos that are worthwhile is kept and stored for posterity here on YouTube. So you are more than welcome to sit here. You're gonna sit for days and weeks going through all my videos, and it's actually something I was thinking about the other day, McTrying. We were talking about where Zibo came from a year or two ago. If you go back to some of my old initial videos, I think we're all going to be gobsmacked to see how this thing has changed. You know, it's going to be funny.
Oh, very much so. And it's changed the perception of the sort of person who flies it these days.
Yeah. I think I told you, we've had guys who came onto the official Zibo Discord and they actually complained, and they said, "Hey, hold on, you're making this thing too realistic. You need to dumb down it a bit." And then obviously the whole of society said, no, don't do that, and that fight took about 5 hours to calm down.
I think one of the most appealing things about the Zibo is I know some people don't like the number of versions that are released and the frequency of them, but it's so nice to have a fresh approach where you have small steps and incremental improvements, and you get time to enjoy each little improvement.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And what I like is when I stream and I know Zibo is sitting and watching and nobody knows he's there, and a day or two later the fix is out and I go, woo, nice one, Zibo.
Turn to finals.
Awesome. Smart Rs, yes, I believe so. Me too. I'm here for realism. This is why the FCOM is so important. And I tell you what, on this airframe from FSX through P3D, eventually onto the Zibo and X-plane, I've got many thousands and thousands of hours on this airframe. And the funny thing is, I never had to learn as much. And I never had to bring the FCOM into the equation until I started flying the Zibo. I mean, you can ask Twixter or Zibo how many times I go back to them and I say, guys, what on earth has happened now? And then I realized, but you know what? You know, there's a hell of a big difference between flying a flight sim and flying like a real world pilot. And then I need to get some education, and thank God the guys are patient with me, you know. It's nice to learn that what you thought was real just wasn't real, and all of a sudden, you know, you get confronted with it and you have to adapt. I'll tell you how you can get updates. Hold on. Hold on. Update notifications.
We got a problem, Nico.
Not me.
I'm telling you, you've got a problem.
Why?
It's refused to accept the ILS.
I'll see when I get there, sir.
Well, on the descent, it didn't intercept it, and I
Okay.
was well in time.
Okay. Well, we're gonna see what's happening on mine. Okay.
Okay.
So there are a couple of ways of getting notification. Number one, you can get the Zibo downloader from the official Zibo forum that was written by a good friend of mine called Matthias. His username is Slavbass. I think I pronounced that correctly. So you can get the automatic updater, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. And what you have to do then is obviously all you do is you just double click the icon once it's installed, and within 5 seconds you get this on your screen. And if there's a little cloud there, you click on the cloud and you download the update, and this little program actually installs it for you. It downloads it and installs it for you. So this is one way of getting a notification. You just open the program. If there's a cloud, there's an update. If there's no cloud, there's no update. Okay. The other way of doing it is you can join the Zibo Pilots group on Facebook, and we make sure that you guys know when the updates are released. Either me or Cody or one of the members will make sure that there is a post on the group that will actually tell you when it's there. And at this rate, I mean, for the month of December, Zibo released an update every single day, and there were 2 days when he actually released twice. So it's basically every day.
And yesterday he updated 3 times.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Yesterday 3 times. Hello, Peter. Thanks so much. Alright, so Vasily. No, you haven't lost all the good stuff. Don't worry, the video will be there. You can go back and watch the video later, and just pick up on the rest. Gentlemen, and if there are any ladies, if you are new to my streams, I want to focus your attention quickly on something. There are a whole bunch of things that I share with the community that you will not find anywhere else. So please go to the video as you're watching. Right below the video there's a description, and there's a little writing that says show more. If you go into the video description, you will see a couple of links. One of them is my private hangar / OneDrive. If you go in there, you will be amazed to see what is actually available and what I share with you guys. So please make sure that you go there and take what you need.
I'm down.
Alright, excellent, Uncle John. Alright, I'm coming up to...
I'm just interested to know what happens with your ILS capture, Nico.
Sure, I'm coming up to it. Oh, you know what's happening? The silly 8 from Explain is now playing in on 122.8 again. Guys, I do apologize. That's freaking annoying, but we hear that voice in the background. Unfortunately, it's just part of the deal. There's an airport quite close by that uses 8s on 122.8, so it's highly annoying. Just one of those things. In actual fact, you know what, let's see if we can turn down the radio completely. Why don't we just mute that radio? That should take care of it, actually. And it doesn't. Damn it. Okay, well, I don't want to go off 122.8 because if there's anything happening at the airport that I need to know, I need to know. Okay, so, alright. Paul, there's no guide on descending and vectoring. It's only and solely your knowledge that is...
Orbital casement information alpha. 1600 Zulu weather.
No, man.
Wind 270 at 10. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 1900 view,
No, man. No,
12,000
Hold a
scattered,
second.
26,000 scattered, temperature 5, dew point 3. Area QNH 029. Arriving runway 29,
Wacht net.
departing runway 29. Advise on initial contact, you have Alpha.
It's got a way to make that guy shut up. Alright, now I'm on my own. I didn't want to do that, but also don't want to listen to him. Alright, okay, so what has happened here is my aircraft is actually not following the magenta line, so I just want to correct that. Not sure why. I was talking so much I did not pay attention to what's happening. Alright, there we see it's gone to yellow, and then we just press the standard button. So alright, I just want to quickly set up for the landing, then I'll answer you again. I'll continue. Paul, just give me a second. Because all of a sudden...
I'm watching you now anyway.
Yeah, all of a sudden I need to...
Taxi it, but I'm watching you at the same time.
Sure. All of a sudden I need to do a couple of things very quickly. I just spoke too soon. Okay. Right, so Paul, exactly what I'm doing here. When the air traffic controller tells you to turn left, he's going to give you a heading. So you're just going to repeat after him, turn left, heading 175, and you just make sure you're on heading select and you go. So that's how you're going to vector. In terms of your descent, if you want full control over it, you're going to use probably vertical speed and make sure that you stay within the bounds of the aircraft and the limits of the aircraft. Otherwise, you can use altitude intervention. So you're going to set there whatever he tells you to, click on altitude intervention, and the aircraft will use VNAV to go down. Or you're going to use level change, which means you need to manage the speed, and the aircraft will respond and dive according to the speed that it can. So that's the basics, my friend. The rest, unfortunately, is something that you're gonna get in-job training with. You know, you're gonna literally get there, and they're gonna surprise you, and they're gonna tell you what to do and not to do, and you must just make sure that you follow their lead. There's not much that's going to teach you other than experience. You just need to get in there and get the experience. Alright, so I've switched on my approach. You're welcome. I wish I could help you more, you know, but experience is the best teacher, I know. There's a guy who wants to take off now. Alright, so I've just sent a message to him that I'm on my way. 135, 135, that is correct. Here's the runway coming back. Alright, so let's go to flaps 1. Clock's gonna slow down. There we are on the glide slope. Flaps 5. Can you believe it? Not one traffic and now one. It doesn't matter. There are two ways you're going to be cleared. If they tell you you are cleared to approach the localizer, that's when you use the localizer button. If they tell you you are cleared for the approach on the ILS, so it's different terminology, you go for approach straight. Right, so we need to make sure that we dull now, 3000 in case we need to do a go around for this guy. And we need to bring down our speed. For some reason it's increased. And the guy is off, so we're okay.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Approaching 2-8.
Bit up filed.
Awesome, Uncle John. Alright, well, my ILS actually worked. I was talking too
Yeah, it
much.
stayed on, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I was just talking too much, and my wife came to talk with me now as well. So I lost the speed there for a moment, but that's me. You know, I didn't pay attention, unfortunately.
I'm just concerned at why yours has stayed on and mine didn't.
I'm good, Uncle John. What can I say? No. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
You were meant to do a go around, John. Come in behind.
Minimums 100. 50.
I'm not saying you did wrong by landing visually.
10.
I mean, it's no problem because I just hand flew it for about 5 miles, that's all. No.
Hey, Martin.
Nice landing.
Thank you, sir.
I'm just going to check mine, see what landing rate I got. Let's have a look.
Happy New Year to you also, Martin. Yeah, you just made it. What I'll do is I'll go and park, file my PyRep, and then we'll do 1 or 2 or 3 replays again. I'd love to see that.
Good landing I got.
Excellent. I have no idea what my landing rate even was. I've learned not to look, because the moment I look, it's like my hands, you know, coordinate the plane to fly after where I'm looking, so I go skew. DDV, no, it's only for streaming. You can't see it in the sim. The sim is completely void of that. It's all just part of the streaming software. Right. Yeah, I see. I've been talking so much. I don't even have my lights on. Did nothing right. You see.
Oh, we've all done it.
As long as Michael O'Leary isn't waiting for you on the ramp, you've got no problem.
Awesome.
Yeah, Nico, just use your checklist next time, please.
Yes, sir. Yes. I better put on my packs as well. Just now we get sued.
And if you don't have a checklist, some bloke called Skymatics has got a
Very
hangar
nice
with
one.
all that information.
I know. Oh, man. What can I say? I need to build myself a room here just for flight simming, and when I go in there I need to lock it, you know, and make sure that the wife doesn't come in there, no one comes to disturb me, and I can just pay attention to everything. Alright, so let's put all of those ones like that. That should be fine. Alright, cool.
Just imagine Nico ordering a cockpit door with anti-lock system.
Yeah. Thank you, Ali.
Oh,
Jason, no, I gave up my wings in 2006 already. The whole real world flying dream got lost. Long story, not relevant right now. So the love of flying and aviation has never died. I've been in and out of real world aviation most of my life. I have done various projects with Mango Airlines here in South Africa. I've been involved with various smaller operations and things in and out, like I say, of aviation. And then the flight simming thing has just always been in my blood. I mean, I've just always flight simmed. So at this point in time, I'm using all the knowledge and all the mentoring that all the real world guys are giving me, just to, you know, pay back to you guys, give you something to think about, and show you how things are possible and how you can do it. Well, Dirk, that's an excellent acquisition. I think you're going to love it. I can't live without it. My subscription is due, I think, on the 20th of January. So my PayPal account is topped up, ready and waiting for that subscription to be paid. And yeah, can't live without that. No, I landed this plane, my friend. I switched the autopilot off, I think, at about 100 or 200 foot above minimums. But thanks for the compliment. I'm just thinking out loud now. Wow. Yeah. Zibo has definitely fixed the auto land, guys. I can tell you one thing. We've done quite a few auto lands and played with it. It's freaking awesome all of a sudden. Really good. And thank you, Bob. You need to go at the bottom of your screen. If you're using Windows, look next to your time. Once your simulator is running, the SimLink management tool is in your memory. It's there at the bottom right hand side of your screen. So you need to go in there and you need to specify your explain folder. If you don't specify your explain folder, it will never connect to your system. And I'm sitting here talking again and I don't have my chart open. Let's see where we're going. Airport. Alright, so we can actually turn left over here. The big thing, guys, not to be funny, and I don't want to offend anybody, but the biggest problem in the flight sim community is people don't read the manuals. It's all in there. If you just go through it step by step, they tell you about the little sim link, how to set it up, how to get the plugin going, and all these things. You really need to do that.
That is the #1 issue. Not only read it, but follow it to the letter. Don't try skipping things, because if you do, you're going to catch cold.
Yeah, for sure, Uncle
Is
John.
that what happened on your better pushback job?
You and I are going to have private words later, Mac. Just pre-warning you.
Yeah. Ali, my first simulator that I owned was in 1986. I was 13 or so years old, and I had a ZX Spectrum, and I had some other flight sim in there. In terms of the Microsoft franchise, I bought my first version of the Microsoft Flight Sim franchise in 1998 or so. It was Flight Sim 98. So from Flight Sim 98 straight through to now, I've owned basically everything.
Approaching 3-4.
Well, give me a second. Let's park. Let's do a couple of replays, you know, so the guys who were not here see what happened. And then afterwards, we can do a bit of a show and tell. Let's call it that. Let's do a show and tell, and I'll show you what I did, and then maybe you can just copy it and get your one working. Oh, so there is more traffic here as well. Alright, thank you for stopping by. It's nice to have you here anyway, and we'll see you next time. Yeah, Mike, I keep on telling Zibo thank you, and his usual response to me personally is as long as you enjoy it. So guys, as long as you enjoy the aircraft, then the guys are happy. DearDevier, if you subscribe to my channel, there's a little bell that you ring, and if you click on the bell, it will enable notifications. So it should send you an email to your DearDevier email address, and then you will know when I stream again. But I can tell you my next stream is going to be tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Zulu. So that is 10 a.m. South African time, 800 Zulu. And I'll probably just fly from this airport to the next leg that Ryanair sends me on. And now I need to pay attention a little bit further, then we turn right. And then tomorrow evening, approximately 1600 Zulu, I'm going to do a complete flight tutorial again. So it's going to be a long session. It's going to basically show you the whole story of flight planning, taking that flight plan and OFP, implementing it into the Zibo, and we're going to have a nice discussion related to that. You know, and you guys can then ask more pertinent questions about the actual, you know, thing as it's happening. So then we'll do a quick flight probably afterwards. So we're looking at a good 4 or 5 hours in that stream approximately. Alright, so brakes are set. Get the APU on the bus, ground services, set jocks. Kill the engines. Once the engines are gone, we can kill that one. Put on that light. Alright. Once that is done, backs can walk about. Terminate the flight leg and go open the doors. I probably should have called the ground services first, but anyway, let's just do that quickly. Excellent, Martin. Mike, it depends, I suppose, on whether aviation is in your blood. I mean, it's like a drug. You can't really get away from it once it's in your system. The gamers would be a fitting description for what you're referring to. I mean, the gamers, even my children say it's too boring to do the flight simming thing. You know, they want shoot 'em up games and action and, you know, stuff that keeps them busy. If they would sit like me for an hour watching an aircraft, they would cry. Alright, let's quickly kill this online gadget. There we go, we are offline. I'm gonna log this flight file, the PyRep. And PyRep has been filed. Let's go look. There we go, 195 points, Uncle John, 40 for a perfect landing.
Nice one, Nico.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, I was taking some screenshots.
No worries, no worries.
In fact, I'm going to post some of them.
You do that. I'm just getting my lights and stuff in order. I want to quickly do a bit of a replay there. can't change that now. See what happens when you talk so much.
Don't want that one.
The Boeing engineers will have a fit. How can you do that? You're not supposed to use your speed brake flaps 15 and higher. So give me a second. I'll give you a link just now. Sure. Okay. We were talking about the guys saying the Zibo is getting too complicated. I just read a message there on the org forum addressed to me. A guy dropped out. He says it's just getting too complicated. Wow. Sad. Alright, so guys, this is the link for the Zibo updater if you guys want to use the updater instead of manually updating your Zibo. Martin, I don't have a scenery install tutorial as such, but usually it's drag and drop. You just open the little zip file you get from the org and you just pop it into your explain custom scenery folder, and then the next step that I do is I use X organizer and just make sure it sorts it into the correct country in the correct continent, and that it then saves it properly. Sorry to hear that, Ryan. I'm Danny. Happy New Year to you too.
Just put some nice pics in there.
Danny, the significant changes you're gonna have to pick up in the README file. Zibo did a couple of things. One of the things we did not actually even do in this flight, and I still was thinking of doing it, is when you do the offset in your flight route, but I didn't even think about it again. We started talking too much and enjoying everything too much. That's definitely one of the big changes. He's given an option where you can have your VREF in your speed line. It's always been a given, so I just left it on. I obviously want to see what my VREF is on the speed tape. I don't want it to go away. These are the two big things I've just noticed, and then obviously he's been tweaking like crazy, you know, making the code better. Where are we now? time we'll do it better. Silly Billy. But anyways, I'll fix it. Alright, well, let's quickly have a look. There was something I said we can do afterwards. What was it again? Let me scroll up a little bit. Oh yes, Symlink. Symlink. Alright, so if you go to the bottom right hand corner of the screen next to the time, and you go into your memory, you know, that little up arrow thing, you'll find Symlink over there, and all you need to do is you need to come and show it the root folder of Explain. Alright, and then you obviously need to click the install Symlink plugin. Now you can only do this when Explain is not running. Please don't try it when Explain is running. You're gonna have to switch off Explain and start again, so there's no point in doing it when Explain is running. So once this is in place and your Explain is obviously healthy, what needs to happen is you just open your Navigraph, which I've actually closed. Sorry, let me open it again. And what then happens is you can use that little arrow at the top, which you can't see because it's being hidden, that one. And once you click there, it obviously switches your aircraft on or off, and then it will track you. So that's about what Symlink does for you. There's no other performance data or anything linked to it. It just links you to the chart. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Nico. Hello, everybody.
How are you doing?
Just got in and discovered I've missed most of your stream, so as well as can be expected.
That'll teach you to go out.
Hello, Uncle. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Oh, man. I love my tower views, guys. So this will be Dedevere, I don't know why. Then what? The only thing I can suggest is go to the Navigraph forum. Tell the guys and let them sort it out for you, because it's such a straightforward operation. I can't see how it can fail unless your antivirus is blocking it or something. You know, make sure that there's nothing blocking it, or your firewall in Windows. Thank you, Ryan, and I'm sorry to hear about your doggy, and just keep your
Out
chin
of
up.
interest, is the doer, is he talking about Navigraph and Explain being on the same computer?
I don't know. Dedevere, is your Navigraph and your Explain on the same computer? And yes, I'm Danny. We all saw the update about the snow. Thanks, guys. Yeah, he says yes.
Yeah, I was just thinking about ports. That was all.
Check your Windows firewall. Maybe it's not allowing it to pass through because your Windows firewall needs to allow the packets to pass through.
It's a nice time of day to land or take off in X-Plane.
Very nice. I love my X-Plane. I love the display. I love the night. I love this time. It's just awesome. Well, you could have received a Windows update, so that could have switched it off. The other thing I can suggest is maybe uninstall Symlink completely. Go grab Symlink again from the website and install it fresh. You know, restart your machine, come install it again, and see if it fixes the problem for you. I had it once, a long time ago, just shortly after Navigraph was released. I didn't realize that they updated the thing, and it stopped working because I was out of date. So that could be part of the problem. Get the latest version. I am Danny. No, I will not leave Explain. There's no point. My whole life for the last 2 years has revolved around Zibo and Explain. I flew the NGXU the other day, and I think I had 5 people on stream with me. The people are not interested in me streaming those things, and I don't feel comfortable in P3D at this point in time. You know, I haven't flown it in such a long time. It's crazy. So I'll get 2020 when it is launched, and I'll enjoy it, you know, for what it is. But it's gonna have to really, really be spectacular to take the place of X-Plane in my life. Angel, bye bye. Have a good rest of your day, buddy. I record with Streamlabs OBS. Videos take a long time. I'm Danny. I'm busy with a training series behind the scenes, which I will launch in this month, probably end of the month, roundabout. Videos for every 10 or 20 minutes of video, it takes me 3 or 4 hours to produce a video compared to when I do a stream that's live and everybody enjoys it. So the videos I'm going to reserve for tutorials and things where we need to be on point the whole time. Angel, yeah, that's a good one. There's a lot of unanswered questions about FS 2020. We'll get to answer them when we see it, and when we have it in hand, then we'll decide. No, Dedevier, this is done in Explain. You press Alt and R to get into the menu like that. So this is all native. This is native in Explain, and then you just pull the slider and then put it where you want it, and you press the play button if it doesn't start automatically. So this is all native Explain playing in front of you. The OBS is literally the broadcasting and recording software if I wanted to make videos that I want to keep. Well, I'm enjoying this view. I cannot tell you how much I'm enjoying this view.
Almost want to go to Ireland for a pint again.
Yeah.
I ordered one in advance.
Okay. Dedevier, yes, the moment you start Explain, it starts recording and it drops the recording the moment you close explain. I can literally go back to the very beginning of the stream just by pulling that slider. It records every single little thing in explain.
Is this ortho, Nico? Or...
Over here, no, there's no ortho. This is default explain. I do use ortho DDV, I do, but I didn't enable it. Not for the stream. Hello, Hakan. Where's Hakan? There's Hakan.
I was
Okay.
just thinking the hills look pretty
Oh,
effective.
no, that, my friend, this is all default explain.
Arkan's got to sort his microphone out again.
It's looking good.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I'm impressed with explain. I love what I get. When we did the takeoff earlier in that 10-knot wind, all of a sudden grabbed the aircraft. I mean, I had to, like you asked about the rudder, you know, you had to quickly grab the plane and do something with it. I don't have the same experience in P3D. It's there, but it's not the same. I can't know. I've finished flying. I've still got 2 or 3 machines to fix before this evening is up, and you know, so I can have some rest tomorrow. No, Angel, I'm not using that. Airplanes, what I do is I use X camera. So there is a little X camera tutorial on my YouTube channel that you can follow. It's a free download. You don't have to purchase it or make a donation. And what I basically do is I set up my numpad on my keyboard then with different views, and as I press the numbers, it will go where it needs to go.
Am I missing something here, or is that landing lights you're taxiing?
I switched it on when I discovered I didn't have it on. So yes, I'm taxiing probably. No, you know what it is? That's the runway turn-off lights and the taxi. It's not the landing lights. Easy enough to check. It is the landing lights and the runway turn-off lights. McDrying. There you go.
Yeah.
You ask all these difficult questions.
That
He's too
wasn't
observant.
difficult.
Far too observant at times.
I can't remember what I did. I'm having a ball here. I'm talking to my people, and you ask about landing lights. Airplanes for life. Do yourself a favor. Go into my private hangar. It's in the description below the video. You will get my presets for X camera and all. So if you're going to use X camera, just grab my presets. You can always alter them, but it's a good place to start. You know. So when you are in the aircraft, your space bar will bring you to the beginning. Then you've got number 1 is jump seat, number 2 is FO3 is overhead, 4 is FMC, 5 is my map view to do my legs, to step through the legs, 6 is my radio, 7 passengers, 8 and 9. And then at the bottom I've also got all these other options available to me, because I sometimes have to go, we've already let them off, I have to go and sit at the back just to mingle with the people, you know, so I can move around with X camera with ease. And then
only because he's blonde in the back.
Yeah, you wish. No, she's brilliant. Right, and then with X camera, I'm not sure if you can do this in the free version, but I can obviously set up all these orbits and all kinds of other nice to haves. Where's the flyby? We can actually do a nice flyby as well.
Is ortho worth having? It's a personal thing. I wouldn't be without it.
Yes. It definitely shows at 30,000 feet. Trust me. It brings another level of immersion. You're not going to see the trees and the stuff, but if you know an area, you'll know the area. It makes a huge difference to have ortho, but it's absolutely a personal taste. That is not something that anybody can decide for you, either like it or not.
Just sort your active sky out, Nico.
I'll do that later.
I think you and I need a chat, Tony.
Why?
Whenever you're ready, John.
Shall we go to another room?
Why not?
Bob, if you remind me, we can look at something like that, but it's easy. I mean, if you are in your FMC on your legs page, which we
I'll
won't have
drag
right
you in.
now,
Okay.
the easy way to change it is the ATC is going to tell you to go to waypoint number 3. You're basically going to find waypoint number 3. You're going to click the button. It's going to put it in the scratch pad. Then you click the top left button. It's going to put it at the top, and you click execute, and it will immediately take you to that waypoint. So if it needs to turn, it will turn. If it doesn't, it's just going to go straight and skip all the others, you know. So, but we can do it tomorrow again. Dede weer in my private hangar. The link is below the video. Just click show more. Go follow that link. You'll see Explain 11 folder, a Zibo folder, and then you've got the X camera presets in there. Just remind me, Bob. Otherwise, I'm not gonna remember tomorrow. You see, when I get to talk too much, things go out of my mind. I didn't even do my lights properly. Anyway, that's it, guys. I will talk to you again tomorrow, 800 Zulu, same place. And I hope to see you guys then. Thank you for watching. And remember, tomorrow afternoon, 1600 Zulu, we'll do a nice big tutorial from the beginning to the end, including the flight planning, everything. I'll show you exactly how I do. And what I will also do is I'm going to use my checklist. I think I closed it now. Let's just open it again. There's the checklist. So we'll run through that item by item. I'll show you where's what and what not, and we can talk about different scenarios if you want. There's a wealth of information. This checklist is also available in the hangar, in my private hangar, so you can download it in lieu of the training, and then we can all read together and see what happens when and where. I don't have X camera. I've got the presets which I made. You need to Google X camera and you need to download it from whoever the developer is, from his website, to get the actual program, and then you can merge my presets into it. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoy it. We'll talk again tomorrow. Bye bye for now.
Thank you, Nika.